I'm Erin Soza, Director of Children's Ministries here at St. Paul's United Methodist Church. I want to welcome you to our St. Paul's neighborhood. In this video series, I'd like to introduce you to some of our staff, volunteers, visitors, and those people that make St. Paul's a special place to be. We are blessed with so many amazing people here at St. Paul's. Today I'd like to introduce you to just one of those very special people.
Erin, good to see you. How are you? What can I do for you today?
Well, today I'm introducing people in our St. Paul's neighborhood to people who work in ministry, volunteer here, and I wanted to introduce our St. Paul's neighborhood to you, Ann, because you work on our prayer list and you come in every week and you make phone calls for us, so I thought maybe you could help teach our St. Paul's neighborhood about what you do as a volunteer working with the prayer list.
Well, I'd be glad to.
So could you tell us, first of all, what brought you to be led to volunteer to help with this ministry at St. Paul's?
For this particular ministry, I grew up with a strong sense that God has given us all. He has given every one of us the ability to pray. That's a wonderful and a powerful thing where I consider prayer conversing with God. I have a conversation, and we all can do that, and we can share and rant and rave with God about our problems, about our blessings, and about those for whom we care about.
It just seems like a natural fit.
It was a good fit. You know, every time you step into a new role, there's a little trepidation. But I have met wonderful, wonderful people.
Well, we are blessed to have you in this ministry, and I know all the people that are on the prayer list are blessed by the phone calls you make. So could you tell us just how does the prayer list work, and what do you do when you come in to make phone calls? You get a list of names
when
that
I
have been
come
submitted.
in, of course, the first thing I do is get my cup of coffee, and I sit. This is my abode here in the library. Every person has a prayer card, a prayer concern card, and in it lists their name and the situation, and then on the back the dates that I have called. And on that prayer card, I also, after I talk to the people, I will write down just little tidbits so that the next time I call them, I remember what this was.
Right.
I call the people on the weekly prayer list at least once every other week. The St. Paul's prayer chain and the power of prayer is one of God's many, many miracles. That's one of the things that I have learned.
That's just amazing testimonial, and we do appreciate all that prayer chain does, going both ways. We can tell that those people who pray for others receive God's powerful miracle, and then those that are healing and recovering are also receiving that miracle.
I really think too that the prayer chain is a lifeline. It's an invisible lifeline.
So could you tell us, just in practical matters, how would somebody get on the prayer list? How would they get that prayer card to get started if they needed prayers and wanted to be on that chain?
If they need prayers, maybe not for themselves, but for a family member, like my mother's going to have an operation, or for a friend, or for a dear friend's mother. I mean, it doesn't have to be, a family connection.
So would they call the church?
Right. They will call the church, and they will speak to Carla.
Okay.
And Carla will tell them all of the information. Here's what you need to do. But I will tell you, before they call, they have to have permission. Okay. If they are calling for someone else, they have to have that person's permission. May we put you on St. Paul's United Methodist Church's prayer chain.
Great. And then once they're on the prayer list and you've been praying, I understand there's a weekly prayer list and then a quarterly prayer list. Could you explain the difference there?
And so I take care of the weekly list, and there's another person who takes care of the quarterly list. When you begin on the St. Paul's prayer chain, you begin on the weekly. And then after a while, like most everybody, things simmer down. It is a great time, and I call it a hip hip hooray moment, when you can move from the weekly list to the ongoing list. And I tell them, you rest, relax, and recuperate. Doesn't matter which one they're on. They get prayed for each and every day by a myriad of people.
So, and when a list is published, can you explain to us what that means? I know here in our St. Paul's neighborhood, we're very conscientious of privacy and try to be really respectful. So in that list, where is it published and what is published?
The weekly prayer list is published weekly, and the quarterly prayer list is published quarterly.
Makes sense.
And when it is time for them to be published, it is in our bulletin and also online. You can opt by talking to a pastor by saying, I really want this person on the prayer list, but I don't want it published.
You know, those personal requests, as you were stating earlier, like somebody might be going through treatment, somebody might have an injured child, somebody might have a divorce, but that isn't publicly shared. That's something just private that you and the pastors of the church know. No.
I tell absolutely no one.
So the last question I have for you, Ann, is if we see somebody on the prayer list as a member of our, St. Paul's neighborhood or just somebody in the community, could we personally send them a card or reach out to them or call them?
Yes. Yes. Don't hesitate.
If you're led by the Spirit to share a prayer, then let that Spirit guide you.
If you really feel that you want to call this person and you feel it in your heart and in your gut, then that's the right thing to do.
Well, I thank you on behalf of our St. Paul's neighborhood. You are a blessing to all of us.
Oh, well,
You're a blessing to the ministry that you help lead with, as you said, the many others that aren't here with us today. But I have a little something for you because I know a little bit about you, and I know that you love animals. Oops.
I do love animals.
I know that you love animals, so I just thought of you when I saw this, and I know you volunteer in lots of different ways, so I hope you can keep your volunteering organized and have that.
Well, thank you so much.
From our St. Paul's neighborhood.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Thank you. Yes. And my dog thanks you too.
Bye, Ann.
Bye.
We'll
Thank
see
you so
next
much
time
for
in the
stopping
neighborhood.
by.
Our St. Paul's neighborhood is filled with so many amazing people. We are blessed to have so many amazing people in our St. Paul's neighborhood. Do you know of someone you'd like to meet in our St. Paul's neighborhood? Is there a ministry you'd like to know more about? Email me at esoza@stpaulsumc.com, and maybe we can meet your friend in our St. Paul's neighborhood.